for the more interesting conference, the Western Conference. That's a little bit deeper. I want to hear your picks. Give me your 8 picks for the West.
So with the West, I first put a couple honorable mentions down below. I have the Pelicans, the Sacramento Kings, and the Dallas Mavericks. I think all three of them. Yeah, I mean the Kings were close this year. They were a couple games short, and De'Aaron Fox is going to keep getting better. Buddy Hield is good. But the main thing is Dallas. I wanted to put Dallas in, but I still feel they're just a year away. Just mainly of how stacked the conference is. I love their young core with, Porzingis and Luka. They'll be a great team to watch. It's just they need a couple more extra pieces here and there, and it might take 1 or 2 more years for them to fully get into the playoffs.
See that.
So at the 8th seed, I have San Antonio Spurs. Just 2 words, Greg Popovich. They get Dejounte Murray back. They're going to have obviously a solid system, and Popovich is good for 40 wins himself. If me and you could go play with Popovich, and he'd find a way to win games.
Yeah.
But 7th seed, I have the Golden State Warriors. I think it'll take some time for Steph and D'Lo. It's a very interesting fit with Steph and D'Angelo Russell, and I don't like how bad defensively that backcourt's going to be, especially if they play a team with a strong back. Say the Portland, for example, if they got, Dame and CJ going up against Steph and D'Lo, defensively that's going to be a nightmare. Clay's going to be out half the year. That's going to hurt them too. They lost Andre Iguodala as well. But I do like the addition of Willie Cauley-Stein. I think it would be a good piece for them at center. And they still obviously have Draymond Green, who's a perennial borderline all-star and one of the best defensive players in the league. It's just I believe they're just gonna take a step back, losing Kevin Durant.
They're gonna take a huge step back.
And they could even drop if Steph goes down for a bit, misses 20 games or something. They could very well drop out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, same as I said with Boston, Golden State's still a team come playoff time I would be cautious about.
Yeah, no.
Very, very cautious about because, Steph, Clay, Draymond, those 3 still won 73 games just a few years back. At the 6th seed, I got the Portland Trailblazers. 1 through 6 is pretty tough because, honestly, you can make this
you can change it up
any way whatsoever, and I think it's going to come down to just the last couple of games. But I have Portland at 6 because they didn't really improve much. And they
did get Hassan Whiteside.
They did get Whiteside,
but I don't think that's gonna.
It's kind of a coin flip with him. It's like, hey, what if he was what he was a few years back?
Mm-hmm.
Then obviously, that can help him quite a bit. But they still lack that, that stretch 4, stretch 5.
Right.
I'd love to see him go make a trade midseason, go get Kevin Love or something.
I've heard that rumor.
I've
like
seen
to
that,
see that,
and I would love that.
that.
I think that would be a perfect fit because you have such a great backcourt. You just need a front court player that can go out, stretch the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Find some additional scoring options other than just Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum.
Maybe a Carmelo Anthony.
I wanted to see him with the Lakers, but that's a different story. The 5th seed, I have the Houston Rockets. They're the most. I'm not saying the team I'm most excited to watch. The team I'm most interested to watch because of this Russell Westbrook, James Harden fit. I saw in your previous video, you said it's going to be an absolute disaster.
It's going to blow up.
I disagree with that in a way. So I think with Westbrook compared to Chris Paul, you have a lower floor, meaning you can do much worse, but also a higher ceiling. Because obviously Russell Westbrook is a better player than Chris Paul, but it's like, with 2 such ball-dominant players, how is that going to work? Are they going to fight? How's the chemistry going to be?
Yeah.
I believe if they can have a good chemistry team, they can go far, and they can win a lot of games. Because they still kept their surrounding pieces. They still have, Eric Gordon, Clint Capella, P.J. Tucker,
right,
and Austin Rivers. Like, they still have all those pieces. All the pieces are still the same. It just you just replace Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
So that I have them in the 5th seed because I think it'll obviously take some time for them to work out, but then they should be okay come playoff time. My 4th seed, I have the Denver Nuggets. I think they're going to be a very, very solid regular season team. They're going to get back Michael Porter Jr. He could definitely be a huge piece off the bench.
An underrated thing.
Yes.
Michael Porter Jr., if he didn't get injured,
he
people were
number
hyping him up.
He was like potentially the number 1, number 2 recruit in that class. So a lot of it will be dependent on how good he is when he comes back. Mm-hmm. If he can be that same player he once was, obviously they might go even higher. But the team's pretty much the same. They're going to be well built for the regular season. I like Jokic a lot. They're well coached, and they have good pieces around them. Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, all the rest of them.
Jamal Murray.
So that's good. And at the 3 seed, I have the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm surprised you put them at the 3 seed with the LeBron fan that
Of
you
course. So I'm the big LeBron fan and all. They have the best duo in the league, LeBron James, Anthony Davis.
All right.
The reason I have him at the 3 seed and not the 1 seed is because it's LeBron James in the regular season. You know he's going to take games off. He's going to coast. He's going to make sure his body's healthy like he does every year. I think he's going to go out average, casual 26, 7, 8, something like that for the year. AD will probably be, 25-10 guy. I love the pieces they built around the team. I think a huge X factor is DeMarcus Cousins and how good he can be if he's going to come back the same guy he was prior to his injury.
Do you think he will?
I think he will because the pictures I've seen of him, he looks a lot slimmer.
He slimmed down a lot.
Which is good because he looked pretty heavy with the Warriors. Yeah. And I think he playing off, LeBron and AD, he won't have as much attention on him that allow him to go work one-on-one. I'd love to see him come off the bench because he can go off against those second-unit players.
Do you think he will?
See, I don't know. It all depends on
I don't think he will.
What Frank Vogel does in his lineup. And the thing is with Boogie's, if he starts playing really well, they might put him in the starting lineup and all that stuff.
I feel like the Lakers lineup is going to change
It'll
6
change
times
a
throughout
lot,
the season.
of course, because you got so many different things you could do with all that. I love the addition of Danny Green. He's going to be a great shooting option, especially playing alongside LeBron. But obviously it's the regular season. LeBron's going to miss 10, 12 games if he can stay healthy the whole year. AD will probably miss about the same amount too. Got to make sure those two stay healthy for the postseason.
Right.
At the 2 seed, I have the Utah Jazz. The addition of Mike Conley, Bogdanovich, and Jeff Green could come off the bench. This is a team built for this regular season. They are deep. They're going to win a lot of games. Donovan Mitchell's going to keep getting better. They still have Rudy Gobert, one of the best defensive players in the league.
Who's the best player on that team?
Rudy Gobert.
Rudy Gobert,
Donovan. It's a duo thing. So
you're going to put them at the 2 seed with Rudy Gobert as your best player.
And Donovan Mitchell. So what were they this year? They were the 5. No. Were they this year?
I think they were the 3 or the 4.
They were the 3 seed this year because they played OKC the first round. They were the 3 seed. Now you add Mike Conley over Ricky Rubio. That's a huge upgrade right there. You add Bojan Bogdanovic.
When's the last time Mike Conley did anything?
He plays on Memphis. He has no one.
That team
in
was
Memphis.
good for 1 year, one time, like 6 years ago.
They had a solid team a few years back, but still, obviously Mike Conley. You add Bojan Bogdanovic, and you had Jeff Green coming off the bench.
Jeff Green it doesn't even matter. Jeff Green.
He's a solid bench.
He's
player.
not even a top 200 player in the NBA.
But anyways, they just got better, and everything they did. They're well coached by Quinn Snyder.
Good coaching.
So that's why I have them at the 2 seed.
All right.
I think they're going to win. Obviously, I said already. It's going to come down to, I think, the last 2-3 games for these top 6 seeds.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
The last week of the season, the 1 seed and the 5 seed could be 2 games apart.
Yeah.
So it's kind of how it was this year. I remember the last game, teams could go from the 3 seed all the way to the 6 seed or something.
Crazy.
By just if one team won or something like that. And at the 1 seed, I had the Los Angeles Clippers. I think they're just a defensive juggernaut. You have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Patrick Beverley. That's arguably 3 of the top 5 perimeter defenders in the league. They have one of the best coaches in the league, Doc Rivers, and they have good experience on their team. I love Lou Williams coming off the bench. They still got good pieces in Montrezl Harrell, all that, and Kawhi just wins games in the I think he's the highest win percentage of all time.
But that's he was birthed into Greg Popovich's system.
He was. But it's when it comes to just winning games.
He does win games.
Kawhi
He's a winner.
And especially in the regular season, it's they can rest these players and they can still go out and compete every single night. This team won 48 games or something last year without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Now you add both of them in.
How.
And now
they actually gave the Warriors trouble too.
Exactly. They took 2 games off the Warriors without those 2. Now you add in 2 arguably top 10 players.
Yeah.
This could be up to a 65-win team if they can all stay healthy throughout the entire year.
Okay.
So that's who I have in my top 8.
Okay, I will also start with some honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is going to be the Spurs. I know Greg Popovich is a great coach.
You don't think the Spurs are going to get in?
No. The Spurs...
They always do it, though. They
always
do it.
Okay, first off, Greg Popovich is on his way out. And it would just kind of make sense his last year he doesn't make the playoffs. He's been on a slow decline since Kawhi left. He knew he's on his way.
Not him as a decline. His team's been on a decline.
His team's on a decline. So following that arc, they won't make the playoffs.
How are they following the arc, though? You get back your starting point guard and Dejounte Murray.
He's not. You're bringing up all these players who are like.
Okay, listen, the Spurs, last year, they were starting guys they found on the road. Like, they're just finding some random kids on the street, and they're like, hey, you want to come play this year or something? Dejounte Murray, it's like.
In the East, I would say, yeah, they're in because of Greg Popovich.
Of course.
In the East, they're in. I don't trust LaMarcus Aldridge to do anything.
Okay,
I don't trust DeMar DeRozan to be anything above.
Of course, I'm not saying the Spurs can compete
score.
in the playoffs, but I'm saying they'll win regular season games because it's a Spurs.
I think they will
thing
be
to do.
the 10 seed.
A 10 seed, the San Antonio
10 seed.
Spurs. That's
I'll tell you who my 9 seed is. You might think this is even crazier. The Golden State Warriors will not make the playoffs.
Will not
next
make
year.
the playoffs.
No. Let me tell you why. Clay is out. First off, we know KD's gone. That's going to take off a bunch of wins. Clay is out for foreseeable future, and we know he's coming back in about 4 months.
Yeah.
That's if everything goes great.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit sooner, but so they're going to lose a lot of games in the beginning of the year. And then you got to worry, how good is Clay really going to be as soon as he gets back? Is he going to go back to being 100% best shooter in the league, Clay? I don't think he is.
Wait, you forgetting about that. What's that one player? Where's number 30? Light skin.
What's that
his
player?
name?
What's that player that they ran the box and one defense on to stop in the playoffs, and it pretty much worked?
You're talking a top
Steph Curry. Okay, yeah.
top four player in the world in Steph Curry.
Yeah, Steph Curry, who won, is, let's not forget, he's a super small guy. He's a small guy. He's our size.
He's
Steph Curry's
6'3".
He's a couple inches taller than us. It's fine.
Yeah,
So,
can we shoot like him?
no, we can't. But when defenses in the league, defenses like the Clippers are putting great defenders, double teaming Steph, and he really has no one to pass to because his second best player will be one of the worst offensive players in the league, Draymond Green.
What about D'Angelo Russell? You just
D'Angelo
forget.
Russell ain't doing anything. He's one.
He was an all-star last year.
We don't. Okay, he's an all-star last year because he brought like a terrible team a little bit of success and made it to the playoffs. D'Angelo Russell probably, in my opinion, I think he's going to get traded. I don't think they're going to keep him. So they're going to trade him for some, I think, rebuilding pieces because they're preparing for the end of this era because they know it's here. So Steph, when defenses are trying to lock him down and they don't have to worry about guarding Kevin Durant, and they don't have to worry about guarding Klay Thompson, I don't think he's unguardable.
That's fair. He's still going to get his points, though.
I think he will get his points, but I think his team won't be able to carry it. I don't think his team will be good enough, and because of all the depth that's in the Western Conference this year in these teams, I don't think the Warriors have enough. I don't think they have enough star power. I think if Klay comes back 100%, they can maybe make it.
Okay, so keep going. I want to see who you have above them.
Okay.
These two teams.
So, the Dallas Mavericks will be the 8th seed. I am a Knicks fan, and I watched Porzingis 4 years.
Yeah.
I watched him play, and he is a great player.
And how many of those seasons did he play every single game? Or most of the season? Like, every season he had some injury problem.
He has like minor knick-knack injuries where he's going to take off like 5-10 games a year. It's nothing serious except for this last one, which he is looking like he's going to come back fully healthy.
Yeah.
Everything looks good for him. He is, I think, going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. Let's not forget. Yeah, he's like an amazing
he's a
shot
monster,
blocker.
Of course, yeah.
It's crazy that someone that tall, that big can be like that mobile.
Yeah.
He runs the floor like crazy. And he's a great shot too. He's been working more and more on a shot. I actually saw he was even working on his left-hand shot. So, we'll see. We'll see how good that team is going to be. And obviously Luka winning Rookie of the Year last year, I think he's going to get even better this year. And I think that duo is going to be one of the most underrated duos in the league. We're talking about all these duos, I think.
They're a very good duo, but it's just the pieces around those two duos. And they'll take some time to mesh together and all that. They're both very talented. But
and let's not forget Carlisle, who, even
course,
though has not shown it
league,
as of these last few years, one of the best coaches in the league. Now he actually has a team to coach.
Yeah.
Now he actually has a team to coach. I think they're going to make the playoffs. The 7th seed, I got the Pelicans. They took so much away from the Lakers. So much away from the Lakers that they have.
I can't wait to watch that team, but
they have so many good young pieces
now. They
do,
do, but it's
so many.
Who is there like?
And JJ Redick was an amazing pickup.
They do. He'll come off the bench for him though.
No,
most likely.
He's going to be their starting two.
You think?
Yeah, they need that shooting.
I think they're going to start Lonzo and Drew in their backcourt.
Okay. They might.
Because they're going to want to develop Lonzo over playing Redick.
That's going to be That's going to be a rough shooting team if they don't put Redick out there. But either way, Redick off the bench, still an incredible pickup. And I think they have so much young talent, probably the most in the entire league.
Of course.
That they will make the playoffs and actually have a good amount of success.
I just think they need, like, maybe next year, but I think they need, like, one more veteran or something. And because I think they'll be about the 10 or 11 seed. I think
possible.
Dallas will be above them.
I think Zion is going to show. Zion's going to show that he was worth that number one pick.
Yeah, of course. Like
6 seed.
Interesting.
I got Portland.
Okay.
I actually don't. I don't love Portland as a team. I think like they just like fully paid both of their 2 stars, and sure, maybe you got to do what you got to do. I honestly think they should have moved on from them.
They deserve it. They played their heart out.
They did play
last year,
but these guys are not like world beaters. Like.
Yeah.
I don't think these guys are reliable enough to win me a championship. I don't think they're skilled enough.
Yeah.
And the addition of Hassan Whiteside was good.
It's like, what's it?
But
you don't know what's
how much
happen.
is he really going to impact the game?
Yeah.
You know, when this guy was like pulling down triple doubles with blocks, I was like, oh, man. But
he's
then
not
like
been the same guy
even
anymore.
like he's not that guy. 5 seed, I got the Jazz. I think the addition of Mike Conley was good. Pretty good, but it wasn't fantastic. Like, they're going to be a good team. I think they can win a playoff series.
Yeah, I have the same way. I don't think they're going to be a fantastic playoff team, but I think in the regular season, I think they're just going to win a lot of games.
I think Rudy Gobert cannot be your best player. And I think Donovan Mitchell had a great rookie year and an underperforming second year. He didn't do that great.
Listen, a lot of that was because he did not have great pieces around. Like, for scoring-wise, they all kind of looked to him to score. So he wasn't very efficient. He couldn't do everything he wanted to do. Now you got a couple other pieces to play alongside of him, and now he can play more of a shooting guard role instead of last year. He's kind of playing more of that point guard role when he's more of a natural shooting guard. When that's where he kind of will play best in. Mm-hmm. So that's why I think they'll win so many games.
Maybe. 4, I got the Rockets. Even though I think this is going to be a terrible team.
Terrible.
In the postseason.
What do you mean by terrible?
Terrible in the postseason. I don't think
they're going to get bounced first round.
Yep, I think they will lose, and I think they were going to fight come postseason time.
Like Westbrook, like with each other.
Westbrook and Harden will fight because it's going to be like, oh, it's big, it's clutch time. Who gets the ball? And Westbrook's like, oh, it's obviously me. You know, I'm a MVP. I average triple doubles, and James Harden's like, I'm the best player in the world. Give me the ball. And I think they're going to face that problem when it comes, and they're not going to see it coming. Even though you think, like, obviously they have to see that coming, I don't think they will. I think they're going to run into chemistry issues in the postseason.
I feel with Westbrook, Westbrook will place. I think if you can convince Westbrook to play as the second star and not as co-stars, I think they can be a lot better. Just the question is,
you're correct. If you could convince Westbrook, but you cannot.
Yes, that's the thing.
Even with Kevin Durant as his teammate, he really could not be convinced that he's the second
option. So we'll see how that ends up going. But the fact that him and Harden are good friends and all that, and they both seem pretty excited to play with each other.
Yeah, but what are they going to say? They're not going to say, nah, that guy's a ball hog. I don't want to play with him. They're going to say
of course,
I know they want to play with each other, but I don't think it's going to be super successful. 3, just like you, I got the Lakers for the exact same reasons. I think they're going to do some load management. They're going to rest their stars. And I think they're going to succeed at a high level when they have that best lineup out.
Yeah.
But the question is just how often are we going to see that best lineup?
Yeah.
They're going to save those guys. So there's not too much to talk about there. 2, I got the Nuggets just because I think that team, even though I can't point to one thing super specifically that makes them succeed, they've just succeeded at a high level for these last few years, and they're super solid and well-rounded as a team. Defense solid, offense solid, coaching solid. It's hard to find holes in.
They have no hole in their team.
In anything.
Yeah.
And while they don't have like one star that's like undeniably this guy is going to take us home, I think they have such a solid team that they're going to have a lot of season success.
Yeah.
Followed by not too much postseason success.
I think them and like, Utah, Portland, they're all kind of in the same boat. It's like they can kind of built for this regular season. They can go win a lot of games, but come postseason time, it's a superstars league. You need those.
Yeah.
That 1 or 2 guys that can take you.
Yeah, you need a guy.
Just go give this guy the ball. And
I don't know if I fully trust Jokic to be that guy. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, I think Jokic, I don't know. He was like amazing last postseason. He,
yeah, he did. I don't. What's crazy to me is he's putting up like Shaq numbers.
It's
Shaq
insane.
numbers.
And you look at the guy and you're like,
No.
This dude is the best player, and you just see the way he's slow, he's unathletic. The only thing you can't trust about him is his defense, obviously.
Yeah.
Just because of his lack of athleticism, but offensively, the way he can see the floor, his basketball IQ,
passer. Yeah,
everything about him, he's going to be a fantastic player. He's even a potential MVP candidate.
Interesting. I don't know if he's that player.
He's not going to win MVP. I'm not saying that, but I think he gets very easily a top 5 candidate.
Maybe. I mean, I think that would be best case scenario for him if he could be a top 5 MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And then I got the Clippers.
Yeah.
We all know this team is unbelievable defensively. They have arguably the best player in the world, Kawhi Leonard.
Arguably.
And arguably the best second option in the league, Paul George.
Arguably.
And just they were able to keep so much in that trade. I really thought if that trade
they just lost
done,
they would have Shai Gilgeous and Danilo Gallinari, right?
How did they not have to give up Lou Williams or
nothing else?
Patrick Beverley, anything?
They just gave up their picks, but it's obviously.
But I mean, you don't need them right now.
Right now.
Go win right now. So those are my picks for the East and the West. And I think this season and postseason is going to be one of the most interesting in a super long time.
Who do you have coming out of the East? Who do you have coming out of the West?
My West is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers. I think they're going to pull it out over the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. And my East, I got Philly.
Yeah.
And then I got Lakers winning it in the finals this year.
That's what I got too. I got the Lakers, Clippers, Western Conference Finals. It's going to go down.
That Western Conference Finals is going to be amazing though.
I think that's what the Lakers are going to try and do. They're just going to try and line themselves up in the opposite side of the bracket. It's the Clippers, so they can meet in the Western Conference Finals, and then that can be just a legendary 6-7 game series. And go play either the winner of Philly and Milwaukee. I think both those will go 6-7 games.
I think whoever gets out of the West is going to win, whether it's the Lakers or
definitely.
Clippers.
Because I just don't I don't trust Philly fully come playoff time, especially down the stretch in games. They're too young. And Milwaukee, I mean, I don't fully trust Giannis. He's kind of shown year in, year out.
Also
he's
young.
not really quite reliable come in the big moment, especially if he's going against pressure and he's not the better team in the situation. So that'll be fun to watch. I'm excited for it.